How many of you, by the raise of hands, have worked with a coworker who's negative? I know I have. Working with a coworker who is negative impacts your overall attitude at work. Nobody wants to be around them. Nobody wants to work with them. It can negatively impact you and can overall impact the entire company. And I'd be willing to bet that most, if not all of you, have worked with a negative coworker. This I believe to be one of the biggest issues within United States companies. The fact that individuals come to work negative and it impacts the entire team that they work on, which affects the entire company. And I hope by the end of this presentation, I will have shown you how much being negative impacts you and the company and how you can overcome these issues. Within my career, I've worked at several customer service and sales positions. These positions are highly impacted by your overall attitude at work. And if an individual comes to work negative and bleeds off on you, it can impact your overall attitude and it can ruin your day. And in fact, you can be fired for it. Companies are also highly impacted by negativity. They are impacted by having a high turnover rate. People don't want to work around people who are negative, so they quit because of it. And over the last 5 years, companies around the United States have lost nearly $220 billion just because of a high turnover rate. This is a massive margin that can easily be avoidable. Now, by the raise of hands, how many of you have worked with a negative manager? I certainly have. By working with a negative manager, it can impact your overall attitude at work and can ruin your entire experience at that job. You're forced to work with someone that you don't want to work with and you don't want to be around, yet you have to be around. And coming from personal experience, having a team who is led by a negative manager caused half of the team to quit within 2 weeks of each other. Half of the team quit. And that ruined my overall experience at that job. Having a negative manager also leaves you feeling demoralized and leaves you feeling disrespected. And it creates what's called a negative work environment. A negative work environment is where an environment at work is uncomfortable for you, so much so that you become unproductive. And it can overall decrease your work performance by 30%. This is a massive amount that is avoidable, and yet it happens all the time. And over the last year, United States companies have lost $3 billion just for having a negative work environment. This is why it is such a big issue in the United States today, and it hasn't had enough emphasis on it. Enhance workplace positivity. How can you enhance workplace positivity? Foster workplace relationships. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean that you're talking with your coworkers and your managers in order to build relationships with each other that you can rely on in the future. What are some ways that you can increase these relationships? Well, simply, you can talk to your coworkers and help to encourage them. Let them know that you're there for them, and if they need, they can rely on you in the future. You'll find that if you gain these meaningful relationships at work, you'll be 5 times more engaged at work. You'll also find that your productivity increases. You'll also find that your overall satisfaction at that company increases by nearly 50%. That's a massive amount just for simply having a good relationship at work. Big time companies like Comcast try to include this within their training. They have big training groups so that individuals within these training groups can network and build relationships that they can rely on in the future. Comcast has found that they've reduced their layover rate and improved their overall employee satisfaction. This is one of the biggest reasons why companies need to enhance overall workplace positivity. What is another way you can enhance workplace positivity? Achieve a comfortable workplace. If I were to ask you how much in a work day you spend trying to get comfortable, how much would you guess? Originally, I guessed 30 minutes to maybe 45 minutes. However, that amount is actually 86 minutes. That's a massive amount of time that you spend just trying to get comfortable. You waste this much time where you could actually spend it being productive and completing assignments that you've been given. Some ways that you can actually increase your comfortability at work is actually by satisfying basic needs, like changing the temperature or customizing your workspace. If these simple, basic needs are met, you'll be more productive at work, and you'll just find that your productivity increases by nearly 10%. You'll also find that your likability and positivity rate go up. You'll find that people will like to be around you more often because you're more positive around them. What is the most important way that you can enhance workplace positivity? Be positive. Being positive is the simplest yet the hardest way to increase your positivity. You'll find that your overall opportunities increase immensely and that your possibilities are endless. Some other benefits to being positive at work will be that you'll get promoted more often and your productivity will also increase. These are just some of the few reasons that you should try to be positive at work. Now let's review. How can you enhance workplace positivity? Foster workplace relationships, achieve a comfortable workspace, and be positive. Enhance workplace positivity. Thank you.